This is Vince with Listings to Leads, and thanks for being here. This is our call for getting started. So for our new clients that have just been signing on, this is a really great place to start. And even if you've been with us for a while, I just had a conversation with a client who's been with us for 3 years. Didn't know that we had some of the tools we have today. We're always adding new tools, so it's really smart to get back in touch with us. Get on this call like once a month, or every couple months at least, because there's always new feedback, there's new things that are working, and there's always new tools. So listings to leads, you can see here we've got over on our home page, we've got seller lead generation landing pages. We've got over 20 styles of landing pages. 5 of them are designed to generate listing leads. We're going to talk about that towards the end of the call. And then we've got all of these tools. Many of them are automatically generated, but some of them you need to actually click into and take advantage of and we're going to talk about that today. All right, so you can log in up at the top right. You should have created your own user ID and password when you registered, but when you sign up, just so you know, our support people actually go through and set up your profile, but they only have access to so many things, so they do some of the basics. So what I want to point out is this green button here that says getting started, zero login. And this really talks about setting up some of the automation and setting up your profile. So I'm going to click on the profile tab up here, and I'm going to point out kind of the big things that you should be setting up like right away, right? So down here in the contact information is your email, right? And it says send leads to and send tools to, okay? So we send you a bunch of tools. We're going to talk about those tools in a minute. And those tools get to you and you got to take an action. We're going to talk about what actions to take. But there's also like alternative emails. So some of our clients use things like Lead Router and Realty Juggler. They want their leads to go somewhere. So they put that email address in there and they check this box. Some other clients have an assistant, right? And maybe they put the assistant's email here and they send the tools to the assistant by checking this box, and the leads go directly to the agent. So you can certainly take care of that. This MLS email and data participant ID, when you sign up, our support people are going to look for you, and they'll actually shoot you an email if we can locate your listings in the national database. We're a partner of ListHub, so we have a listing feed that is updated every day. And if your MLS and your office are participating with ListHub, we've got a way to automatically put your listings in here. Just, you put it in the MLS, it sweeps over and gets to us. And then down here, I'm not too familiar with it, but we actually have the way to integrate Zillow reviews inside of your accounts now, and basically inside of the tools. And then there's other kind of information here. We've got text IVR, 800 number call capture, things like that. And then you can choose your color scheme on your marketing. We're going to see what that looks like, but we've got nice black, gray, blue gradient, red, and many that sort of fit in with some of the major national brands. If you want to do something custom, you can create your own custom color scheme here. And then down here is an important part, marketing automation setup. This one here has to be checked because you want these tools to go out to you automatically. If you check this box, these tools will go automatically from your seller to you, and I'll show you what I'm talking about there. And then here you click this button. You want to be logged into your own YouTube account, your YouTube channel, and then you click this button here. It's a link, and boom, that's going to connect your YouTube channel to your Listings to Leads profile. And when a listing comes in, we're going to auto upload to YouTube for you. Down here, you can integrate Wise Agent, Top Producer. You can put in your social networks, and these will show up on various tools where people can join your networks. Okay, so that's the profile. You got to set that up one time, and that's kind of covered right here, right? So I want to point out a couple things. We're going to jump into it. Probably you should be familiar with all 4 of these buttons. The number 2 button is seller lead generation. We're going to get into this at the second half of the call. How do you get listing leads? You've probably heard of landing pages. You may know what landing pages are, and you may actually know that Facebook is a great place to put those. And what we want to make sure you are aware of is right here that you are using these tools, that you're putting them on Facebook. You can certainly integrate them with print or Google if you want, but the Facebook appears to be a slam dunk. I would like you all to come here and read this article. Okay, it's not like War and Peace. It's a really simple page, and this client, as well as many other clients, are generating hundreds of leads every month. And in this particular client, she's getting a new listing contract every week. And we want that to be replicated, right? We want you to get that. And the instructions and how that strategy works, I'm going to actually go over it, but I'm going to go over it quickly. And many of you are going to not be remembering what I say. So you need to come right back here and read this interview. And to apply this interview, you can watch this here, and you can watch this link here. Shows you how to run it out on Facebook in less than 2 minutes. Okay? So that information is under this second green button, seller lead generation, open house lead generation, tons of tools that generate leads for open houses. There's a big article a few weeks ago about it's a waste of time for real estate agents to hold open an open house. And I think with traditional marketing, I could basically believe that. However, if you're using our marketing platform, you would find that you can very easily generate a couple of dozen leads, and that then becomes worth your time. There's a listing presentation on this page here. Download it, present it. There's a little video on how to present it. Our clients many times say they win every listing presentation they're on, and you'll see why when I click the listings page. The listings page is where your listings come in, and it's kind of the dashboard of where you're going to work from, okay? And you can see here that we've got a ton of tools. I'm going to go through them real quickly, and then we're going to dive into them. First button here is edit enhance listings. That's where you can change price, upload images, put in an open house time and date in there, right underneath this button, right? The next one is seller lead generation links, and this is one of the most important aspects of listings to leads that's really different from every other company, and we're going to talk about that in a minute here. We've got single property websites. We have auto-generated virtual tours. I showed you earlier, we can auto-upload to YouTube for you. We have a series of e-flyers that are designed to run as a campaign for every property. And then we have a parallel campaign for Facebook. Then we have landing pages, and these are unique landing pages specific to a listing, great for putting on Facebook. We've got a QR code with a corresponding mobile website. Half the people in the United States have a smartphone. You should be able to speak to that, and you should be able to tell your clients that their homes are going to be mobile optimized for half the country. Then we have blogs here, right? We actually auto-create a WordPress blog for you, and we post every one of your listings to that blog. And I'll show you, and then there are other blogs. If you've got a broader blog strategy, you can copy and paste the content that you need to put there. And then we have over here, how to post to Craigslist. And Craigslist is still really important. If any of you know about Craigslist, they made a massive change in the fall of 2013. And I would say about 95% of realtors walked away from Craigslist at that point. It made it more difficult, and agents didn't like it. But when all the competition walks away and the consumers stay there, it's a good reason for you to stick around. And so we give you the ability to get there. The response that we're hearing from clients is that they're getting fewer leads, but they're getting higher conversion on those leads. They're not having to post a bunch of listings and this and that. It's not as painful as it used to be a few years ago, but it's a good place to capture some leads that actually turn into business, not just generating leads for the fun of it. Okay, so let's look at one of the first things. I'm going to click on a single property website here. It's the red button with the white house. And you can see that, we'll give it a second to pull up. You know, our tools are going to look very similar to this. They're going to have your logo on the top left, the property, the status on the top right, which in this case is just listed. And status is something that's really important, again, to listings to leads, because we feel like you need to market your home multiple times. You should be marketing it coming soon, just listed, maybe obviously open house, maybe when it's pending, maybe when it's under contract, maybe when the price reduced, and of course sold. So that status up on the top right, just listed, this allows you to market the same home multiple times. And why would we want to do that? Well, obviously it gets your name out in front of the market, but also one of the big things about our platform I mentioned earlier is that we have ways to capture links. So follow this home and schedule a showing. These are direct, somebody fills that out, you get an email. But also another big difference, aside from status, is that we have these links on the left-hand side that speak to the market, right? Lafayette homes for sale. There should be a link here that says Lafayette. We have one here that says Bellevue, Alamo's right next door. And when you click a link like this, we can take people right from our site to your site. So I'm going to show you how that looks and how you set that up. And so we know that some people will want to contact you directly by this home, but the majority of people that see your home online, wherever they see it, are not going to want to buy your home. So we're going to give them the options on the left-hand side to take advantage of that. So let's close that single property website and let's jump into that piece, okay? Now, let's see here. I had it. Where did I have it? Yeah, okay. So right now, when let's say you're a brand new client, right? And I actually had this call a couple times today where your MLS does not participate with List Hub, or you don't know if it does, or just your listings are not automatically flowing into this system, right? So what do? The question was, can we use it? Well, of course you can still use it. There are buttons here where you can create it manually, but there's a button here that says grab active listing, okay? And when you grab active listing, I'm going to show you what that looks like. We're going to grab that and pull it in. Now, I also want to point out that there's a combined open house email, and this is a really great tool to email out all of your open houses. Offices definitely like to use this, but agents with a couple open houses want to do this. It's also a great link to put on Facebook and drive people to it for a couple bucks over a couple days. And then over here, we got more listing tools, and normally we don't dive into this, but I just have this conversation with somebody. We've actually got a link right here under more listings tools, and you can sort of imagine, you can get some ideas of what you want to do with this. It's going to have your banner, it's going to have a map of your area, and it's going to have all of the listings inside of your account. Now, every time you click one of these, a single property website pops up. And we just looked at a single property website. Every one of those things is designed to capture leads. I'll tell you, one of our clients over in Naples, Florida, takes this and he puts some rentals in here, and he puts some homes for sale, and every time you click on anything in here, any of these pictures, a full-on lead capture pops up. And he puts this link, there's a link up here on the top, you can't see it because it's above the screen capture. He puts that on Craigslist in the homes for rent area. It says, hey, here's some homes for rent. And because there are 10 properties in here, there are multiple things for people to capture. And so he actually went and got his own URL. It was like Wolf Knows Naples or something like that. It was his name knows Naples. People could look at it, type in, and bang, they landed on this. And every time they clicked on anything, they got this. This guy's generating a ton of leads. I mean, like, I don't even want to give you the number because it's ridiculous. Are these all his listings, or can you use office listings? You can use office listings, and that's the point. Your basic account allows for 10 listings, and you definitely want to use as many, fill it up, get some other things for people, right? Let's see, we've got a question here. How do you create this landing page? When you click on this thing here, it says more listing tools. It is this link underneath the QR code. In this case, it says searchallproperties.com vMesa. Every one of you has that. There's also some listing widgets. So for those of you that work with blog platforms as your website, you can copy this code and put it inside your site. One of our clients from the Las Vegas area, this is his website. It's built on Blogger, which I'm pretty impressed that this is a Blogger website. He's a really, really smart guy, really effective on what do you call it, social media. And this right here is a widget from listings to leads, okay? It is one of these. I think it's actually this one here. You copy the code, you take it and put it in your blog, and we show the listings like this, and he wants to show it like this because every time I'm going to click on a property, it brings people off of his website to our single property website. And as you know, our single property website generates leads, right? This is right behind his website, and it's because he grabbed that code and he put it inside of his blog related site. Okay, so that's just some really cool stuff. That's a little bit of a tangent, so I don't want to get stuck on this one too long. What I do want to show you is what do you do when you don't have a listing in here, right? When you're brand new, you want to get these listings in, and you don't want to wait forever and talk to your broker and find out, hey, do we have this automation set up with ListHub? You just want to go and click that grab active listing button. And when you do that, you drop in the zip code of the home and the MLS ID, and you click grab. Okay, it's a button right here. And it says here, it's either going to say importing listing now, like we see, or it's going to say listing not found. If it's not found, go look for your listing on Trulia. If it's not there, we're not going to be able to see it. So basically that MLS number there and that zip code matches your listing out there on Trulia, and then boom, we're going to pull everything in. You're going to see in a minute that it's pulled in the photographs, the property description, price and this and that. And notice it's got some links, and this is, I was telling you, those side links. Now, I've got my template set up that anytime a listing comes in Lafayette, every listing is going to have search all homes. Every listing is going to have what is your home worth. But since this one is in Lafayette, I want a link that says Lafayette homes for sale. And I also want another one that says Release Valley homes for sale. Release Valley is in Lafayette, and this is a sweet part of Lafayette. And these are $1 million homes. People love this area. I definitely want that to be on these properties. So once you get here, all you got to do is click save. And when you click save, it says, what order do you want it? Well, the home's in Lafayette, so I'm going to leave that up top. Release Valley second, search all homes, great. What is your home worth? Save. This is really important, people, and I know it's a little bit confusing, but you got to figure it out. We have a 30% click-through rate. So when somebody sees our tools, 30% of the consumers click and push it into, get off of our tool and get into your website. Can we add other listings with permission on our account? Yes. Somebody just asked that same question, so I'm glad you asked it just again. You can borrow listings. Pay attention to your local rules, your office rules, and your MLS rules. We're not, as long as you're not offending anybody out there, by all means, load them in here. So when we chose the links and we put the order, the first thing we do is we drop it. We drop you right here on this virtual tour page, okay? Now, as I said at the beginning of the call, your YouTube account should be associated on your profile. You should go over there and associate it, and then we'll auto-upload the virtual tour up to YouTube. The thing we want you to think about, and this, just listen to me, everybody, because you're gonna a lot of people, their brain just tilts right here. Ignore your MLS. Take the branded virtual tour by clicking this green button, and here's the branded virtual tour. I'm gonna click on it. And to the right of the link was a button that said copy, so I could have copied it. And then you want to get this virtual tour. It's going to take a second to pull up. Here's the home, right? Here's my virtual tour. There's a couple components here that we got to talk about. It's just listed right up on the top right, right? And that's great. If I wanted to do it by hand, I could have did it coming soon. And then in a couple weeks, it's going to be open house, and then it's going to be maybe pending or price reduced. And this is the virtual tour, sort of swirling through, auto-generated. On the left-hand side, if people don't want this house, maybe they want a swimming pool or something, they can click right over here on Lafayette Homes for Sale and see the rest of the homes for sale in Lafayette, right? And of course, I'm driving to a website that's changed. This is my demo account, but that would drive right to your website, right? Release Valley, a neighborhood there, search all homes. I may need to change my links here. It looks like I'm totally broken. Okay, so here we can kind of see this is driving to one of our clients' website. So when you're driving to a website, and we really want to make sure that you are able to benefit from that traffic. And what that really means is, do you have forced registration on your website? Because if 30% of the people who look at our tools click here and get to your website, we don't want them to search there for 2 years and maybe never contact you. We want them to look at 3 or 4 or 5 properties, and then you ask them to register, and then you can market them and try to get them into your office. So these links are really important. While I say 30% of the people actually click through, some of our clients have 50% of these clicking through. And they do that by putting price points like Lafayette homes under 800 grand, or Lafayette homes from 5 to 800. Maybe they put in coveted neighborhoods like Release Valley, and those are call to actions that people that are looking are going to respond to. So if you put a little thought in that, you can get a higher click-through rate. If you got a nice website like, I don't know, this is Market Leader, maybe Real Geeks, maybe Boomtown, maybe Tired, maybe a Zillow agent website, which is $10 a month. It does just fine, right? So we want to drive people. We capture leads and email into you here, but if they're not interested in this home, this is the lead capture, pops right up automatically. So here's the thing. This is the virtual tour. And I'm going to point out an email right here that I was going to show you. This is what we do for our new listings. You choose the right lead generation links, right? And that lead generation link, we just looked at it. We chose Lafayette and Release Valley, search all homes. Choose the right links to your site. Share the single property website to Zillow or to Facebook and Pinterest. I'll show you that in a minute. And we are on the branded virtual tour. So depending on what company you're with, you want to share that, okay? And I'm going to walk you through, so you're going to know what company you're with right now. There's a link up here. If I right click on it, I can copy this link. So you want to take this virtual tour and bare minimum put it directly on your listings on Zillow and Trulia. You should have free accounts there. They will not charge you. You can edit your listing. You can drop this in because your listings are going to be seen a few hundred times on those sites. And now you can benefit from that because if they have any remote interest, they're going to click this virtual tour and they're going to click a link and get back to you, right? I think we've all heard all kinds of wacky stories about how your leads get sold to 4 other people at the very same time on Zillow and Trulia. And we just don't want to do that. We just want to get people to you, right? So if they click on our virtual tour, 30% will click out and get back to your website. So copy this and put it on Zillow and Trulia. Now let's listen. If you are from some of our other partners, Keller Williams. If you're from Keller Williams, put the virtual tour on KWLS. If you're from any of the Realogy brands like Coldwell Banker, Century 21, ERA, Sotheby's, put it in Crest. You cannot physically put it in Crest if you're a real estate agent, but your marketing manager or manager can, and they will syndicate it out for you. And it will be syndicated out like this, like a branded virtual tour. Now the rest of you, if you're in an MLS that allows a branded virtual tour, take this branded virtual tour and put it there. If they do not, forget about your MLS because we want you to capture leads and we just want this to get in a high traffic area where people are going to get to you, okay? So that's back to my email because this is kind of the cheat sheet that I give everybody. Put your branded virtual tour on Zillow and Trulia, put in KWLS or Realogy Crest. The other thing we say to do is to share your single property website. So let's close this and let's see what we're talking about. I'm going to click on listings and right here we've got a single property website. It's our first red button with a white house. Click the red button. And this is the single property website. This is all on the latest bootstrap web technology software. A lot of Fortune 500 companies are on it. A lot of companies are on this. So your marketing is actually on the latest software platform now. We've migrated everything over the end of last year. And this is a single property website. It's mobile optimized. It's going to work on an iPad, on a smartphone. It's going to work on a computer. It's just really like great stuff. Underneath your picture over here on the left are some share buttons. Facebook and Pinterest. If you're a real estate agent, we definitely want you to share some of these on your own personal or business pages, okay? Facebook is the #1 place to get people off of Facebook to you. So that's definitely a place to do it. Pinterest is #2. And then way down the list is YouTube, Twitter, Google, and LinkedIn. But we do give you the buttons to share here. And I recommend it because it's great for a listing presentation to be able to have a complete command of social networking in your marketing. And you can take advantage of that just by clicking these share buttons right here. Okay? So this is the single property website. You can scroll down. There's all kinds of great information and pictures and everything you would want to market your home, right? It's here. But the key thing is there are lead generation links. There's the ability to share the single property website, and there's also the ability to take advantage of different statuses, meaning just listed, stuff like that, okay? So share that, get your virtual tour out, automate your YouTube. It should go up automatically. And then there's these print flyers, right? E-flyers, not print flyers, but e-flyers, print flyers, and social media. And this is a big, big part of what Listings to Leads does when you're marketing listings. So I'm going to take a second here and have a sip of coffee. If there are any questions, now is a good time because this section is, it's kind of fast. Okay, I don't see any questions. Give me a second. Yeah. All right. Wow, we got a ton of people on here. I do see questions, and thanks a lot. This is a good time because, I'm going to keep moving here, guys. And if you wait for 30 minutes, you're going to have more questions because we're going to get into some really powerful stuff here. And you need to hit it. Okay. I'm a co-lister on a listing. Will I have the capability to pull the listing from the MLS? Yeah. Yes. You just need the zip code and the MLS ID. How do you bring social media buttons to the website? They are in the website already. There's also social media buttons on your profile. Are all these features included? These are all included. Everything we're looking at here is included, okay? I'll tell you when there's an added fee somewhere. But we pretty much give everything away here. Everything in this platform comes at one price, and the only additional price to us is text IVR, okay? 800 number call capture. You all have access to it. You can sign up. It's really inexpensive. $10 a month for up to 10 listings. A lot of people really love that. That's great. If you're an office, we have a recruiting platform, and that's an additional fee as well. But everything else is totally included here. Is there a way to send leads to Top Producer and send market snapshot reports from there? Profil, you can associate Top Producer on your profile page, and market snapshot you probably want to integrate in as a link, okay? So if you have a web page, Profil, of where that market snapshot web form is, where I would, as a consumer, would land, put it in this panel and I'll add it in and I'll show you what that looks like. There are ways to integrate Market Leader into our platform so that it's seen by many people. And that's what I would do. So if you have a unique URL, Profil, drop it in this chat panel, we'll do it. So everybody, let's talk about the e-flyer and social media. We're going to click on the e-flyer button, and this is going to, if you're new to us, this is going to blow your mind, okay? This just is. Because there's a couple things here that just freak everybody out. But these things generate leads. We didn't just pull this out of the sky. We have built this like this because our clients keep coming back and saying, we're trying this with your stuff, and we're getting leads this way. So we're multiplying, we're taking what's the feedback from the market, and we're applying it. So what we see here are 3 flyers on top. The first one goes out automatically as soon as the listing comes in. 2 weeks later, we get another one, and 2 weeks later, we get another one. If you set an open house in the next row, you're gonna get an open house flyer. If the house goes pending or active contingent or under contract, you set that on the status. I'll show you where to do that. If you can change the status to sold, you're gonna have a flyer, and notice that there's these red banners here that really punch out and say, there's something new about this home. It's just listed. It's price reduced. It's pending. It's sold. Okay, so that's a really good thing is inventory's tight. Let's market multiple times and get out of, put the URL in. I don't know what the URL is, Profil. If you don't know what it is, we're not going to get distracted here. If you can't find it on a website, a web page, a web form, drop it. Okay, so right here, we can click on a magnifying glass. I'm going to click on the one on the top left, and this is what my e-flyer looks like. And remember, just listed right up front, right? So we can say, hey, it's relevant to look at this. Nice pictures, information, contact, lead generation links. Profil, have a look here. Here's a market snapshot little graphic, and when I click on this, I could actually link to my market snapshot. You can actually embed that in the account, right? You can, and so if you have it, you have other online resources, by all means, integrate them here because our tools get exposure. The just listed website. So this is a single property website e-flyer, okay? And Again, it's got your contact info, your banner, it's got the information on home, it's got lead gen links right up here. So I think when people think about e-flyers in real estate, it's really, if somebody calls you or emails you, says, I'm interested in this home, do you have anything? You'll send them a flyer, right? And it'll have something on the home, and it'll be something about you, and there's your picture, and they can call you or email you if they got information, okay? And that's nice, but our flyers are totally different because we want to get them out into the market, and I'm going to show you what that looks like in a second. And we want not just to take advantage of that one home, but what about the other homes in the area? What is your home worth right here on the left? So our e-flyers actually generate leads, okay? And so we want to get them out, and we want you to take advantage of it. So I'm going to go back to my little cheat sheet here. Get your auto-generated e-flyer and Facebook ads to your client. Call them to make sure they forward the post and tool. So what on earth does that mean? Now, if you send me an email, I'll send you this e-flyer because I send this email to everybody I speak with because it just gets them on the right path. Because they get in here and they're like, oh my God, there's so much stuff I don't know what to do, right? And the first things is get that social media or get that single property website and virtual tour out. We talked about that. Let's go look at my email and see if my flyers are already there. I think they should be because when I pull them in, yeah, right here. When I pull them in, I automatically get my e-flyer, okay? And I'm going to double click here, and let's talk about the e-flyer. And you guys really got to pay attention to this because remember I said it's going to blow your mind? This is the part where the minds get blown. This is the flyer, right? Looks awesome. You choose your color scheme on the profile page. We talked about that. It's got lead generation links up and down it, etc., etc. But the reason we want to have multiple flyers go out is because of this message here that says, Dear Friends. It starts here. It's on the top of every flyer. And it says, in this case, we've hired Vincent Meza from L2L Lafayette Realty to sell our home. He's created this and many other tools to help us, sell this faster. Please forward this to as many people as you can. So every flyer from coming soon to just listed to open house to virtual tour to single property website to price reduced and to sold talks about you and your office. And it's not meant to sit in your mailbox. It's meant to go to your seller. So all you got to do is click forward. And if you want, you can change it. You can see here it says Dear Sally Seller. You can change that to Dear whatever their name is, or you can just say, hey, you know what? I'll call you. And send it to your client, right? And say, hey, Joe, I just sent you an e-flyer and a Facebook ad. We want more exposure. We want more people to see this. And just forward this out. Just like I sent it to you, just I'll call you and forward it to your friends via email, okay? So we want that to go out. And there are multiple, and so here's a great thing. This is just listed. You could do it coming soon. You could, there's all those other flyers. We'll go look at it again. But the sweet one is just sold. Because just sold says our home is sold and Vincent's awesome. And here's his name and phone number, already pre-written, right? A pre-written testimonial from your clients to their friends and families and colleagues via email. Does that make sense? So where did I get the cheat sheet? The cheat sheet is in my email. So if anybody wants the cheat sheet, meaning this little email here, email me, okay? Because there's a couple really good things here. And if you email me, I'm going to send you 2 emails. This is what to do with your listings, and this is how to generate right here more listings. We're going to get into this second half of this call, which we got to get into real quickly here. The rest is some other, examples, but how to market your listings and how to get more listings is right here, and you definitely want that. My email is Vince. I'm going to put it here in the little box at listings2leads.com. Okay, I'm sending this to everybody. So if you get that, you can say, hey, Vince, send me the cheat sheet and the conversion, and I'll send you both of those, okay? So you want to get, and right here, it says get your flyers out, call your clients, make sure they forward. So let's go look at the other tool that is really important in this part of the platform. It's the same listing, but it's actually designed for Facebook. Okay, it's designed for all social media, but specifically Facebook. If you don't know this, everybody, 71% of American adults are on Facebook. Okay, so pretty much half of everybody in your market is on Facebook. So if you're ignoring it for whatever personal reasons, I really suggest you reconsider that. So here's the strategy of the Facebook social media piece. Again, get it to your clients, right? Click the forward button and edit it, right? And you can start off with Dear Sally Seller, but you know what? For me, it's just like, hey, Joe, put this on your wall, right? On your Facebook wall, right? Status, whatever. And call them. Because I'm sure you're getting X number of pieces of spam every day, and your clients are the same way. So forward this, and you can see here that this is our home is for sale, right? And you can see what this is. We want your clients to copy what's between the red lines and put it on Facebook. So you're going to send it to them, and you're going to copy. You're going to call them and just walk them through, because there's going to be multiple times of this. It's going to happen multiple times. So I'm going to go over here, because I think the one that everybody gets excited about is just sold. So over here I got a property that's sold, right? So I'm going to click my e-flyer, because I want all of you to see the pre-written testimonial. And you don't want to start with just sold, because you don't want to start this kind of, because what you'd rather have happen is that your clients, friends and family and colleagues heard about you when you just listed the property. A couple weeks later, hey, here's our single property website. Here's our virtual tour. Oh, Vince is holding an open house for us, and now it's under contract, but Vince still wants to market this home. And of course, maybe price reduced down here. These are all going to flow out. And then I'm going to send myself the just sold one right now. Okay. And all you do is click and boom, it goes out to you, right? So the just sold one is awesome. We're going to look at it in a second here, because it's a straight up testimony, right? I'm going to open it up. I told you got to forward it to your client, and you see the message here on the bottom. Our home just sold, and we want to recommend Vincent Meza, L2L Lafayette Realty, for doing an excellent job. That's obviously your name is going to be right there, and your phone number and your email. So why would you want this to get to your client? Here's why. Because you want them to copy what's between the red lines, like I'm doing right here. You want them to go to Facebook, like I'm doing right here. And you want them to right click in Facebook and paste, like I'm doing right here. And once all that happens, you want them to click post, just like this. Now, why on earth would you want that to happen? I think some of you know, but if you don't know, I'm going to tell you anyway. Your client, if they're on Facebook, they've got 200, 300, 500 friends that have never heard of you. Okay, this is like where people communicate a lot. If their kids are on Facebook, they can forward out. You're getting more exposure, and what it's saying is, obviously there's your phone number and name right there. But in other cases, you see where it says listings leads up here? That's going to be your, that's going to be your client. So your name is being sent out not from you or from your office, but from your client saying, hey, we work with this guy and he's awesome. Here's his, just listed, et cetera, et cetera. Whenever anybody clicks on anything in here, it's all about lead capture, right? It's all about getting people to you. This is the single property website popping up. And that's really what we want. We want people to, in this case, it's sold. They can get the final price, or they can go, oh, you know what, I don't need that. But I am interested in homes in Alamo, right? So I'm going to click this and get off of Facebook, where I spend 10 times a day on, and I'm going to get over to your website, which is what you're looking for. Okay, so that's a really great thing. So when we look at my little cheat sheet, we're talking about, hey, what do we got to do to get the most exposure? First of all, get the right lead generation links up here on the top. Get the right ones for each listing to your website. Share the single property website to Facebook and Pinterest. and put your virtual tour on Zillow and Trulia. You can put it out here on these other platforms if you're with those companies, and get the Facebook ads and get the e-flyers to your clients. Now this one down here, put your property valuation pages and listing landing pages. This is the advanced stuff. You've got to pay attention to this one, guys. So I'm going to open it up for questions, and then we're going to talk about landing pages and Facebook and what's making our clients' business explode. Okay? So if you're thinking of growing by 50, 100, or 200% in 2015, you are going to have to implement this strategy. Okay? We don't know of a more, incredible way of what's going on. Our clients are coming back all the time saying this is working for us. So you're going to have to listen to this. So right now, I'm going to open it up for questions and take some coffee. And I want you to, if you got questions now, lay them on me, because we're going to jump into this landing page Facebook thing, and you're going to have questions there. Aside from email capture, am I able to see the number of clicks on links? Not specifically on links, but yes. When we go into, let's see if I can get into listings leads here. You got two things to look at. Analytics is where we show you ad views, and we show you what we call click-throughs, right? And a click-through is like a link that says Alamo Homes for Sale, Lafayette Homes for Sale, whatever homes for sale. That's a click-through, right? People look and they click and they go on. Now, you'll notice 2 tabs over is the leads tab, right? And the leads tab is your leads are housed there. While they are emailed to you, they're also housed there. So you can see here we've got some analytics of ad views and click-throughs, right? And ad views means we actually looked at the ad and clicked through. And this is like at the account level. On the e-flyer page is a traffic report, which gives you that breakdown at that level, at that level as well, okay? So that every property is going to show you, hey, this is where people are seeing it, and here's what they're looking at, and here are the click-throughs. A lot of our clients like that, obviously, because it shows that you're putting, you're getting some visibility, but also they're saying, hey, if the home hasn't sold and we had this many people look at it, maybe we need to talk about price, okay? I have a CRM with Buffini. Can my leads be directed there? I'm not quite sure. You might want to check with Buffini. It just depends on what format they give it to. Our leads get emailed out, and they map right into Lead Router, Realty Juggler, Wise Agent, and a few others. So it might work with the Buffini system, but I'm not really sure. But you can check with them, and you can say, hey, here's my lead. Will this flow through? So, okay, cool. You got Realty Juggler. You can just put that in your profile and send leads there, and that should start working. So we're going to jump into landing pages, okay? First we're going to talk about listing landing pages, and I'm going to remind you, actually I'm going to show you. On the home page is this second green button. It says Seller Lead Generation. You need to go here. Hey, Profo, I see you got some magic going there. Okay, we'll jump into that at the end, Profo. Okay. Here, number 2 is how to run an ad on Facebook in 2 minutes. I'm going to show you, but right here are the details. This interview, number 4, is really powerful. I want you all to go here and look at it, and I'm going to breeze into it right now. Okay. What we really want. We want you to be looking at Facebook pay-per-click advertising, and please listen, because I get all kinds of wacky questions here. It doesn't matter how many friends you have on Facebook or who likes your page. What you're paying for is, if that person is sitting in this zip code, you want your tools to get in front of them, and that's why Facebook is super powerful right now. So we're going to get into that. You're going to see what I'm talking about. But let's talk about landing pages, okay? A landing page, I just pulled this listing in when we started the call, right? We all looked at it. And I clicked on this button right here that says listing landing page. I'm going to click on it. I just clicked on it. It's baked over here now. And this is a landing page. I'm pulling this up. Usually, people don't get too excited about this at the real estate agent level. But it's got your banner at the top. It's got the first picture of the home and some of the property description. But this landing page is really designed for one thing, which is to get contact information. So I want you to understand what a landing page is, because many people call and say, oh yeah, I'm on your landing page, and they're not on a landing page. This is a landing page. It doesn't have links going other places about schools or rates or nothing, or about you. It's just get me the lead. That's what a landing page is, okay? Now this is our default landing page because it's got a small picture, because the picture comes in squeezed from the MLS. But this is really good. And if you don't have a bigger picture to make this look really awesome, well, you can use this. And what you do is you take the URL, the web address for this page, which is up here on the top, and I can right click and copy, and you can take this over to Facebook and drive people to it. We're not going to do it yet, but that's what a landing page is. But before we go there, I'm going to show you the sexy landing page, okay? You see this one here, it says AC on the left. That means active contingent. So remember how I said, hey, we've got all these statuses, just listed, active, just sold is JS, active contingent. Here's coming soon, right? Under contract. You can change those statuses by clicking the edit button right here. It's the blue button with a white wrench and the screwdriver on it. And it says active contingent up here. And when you got all these statuses, you can save it, and all the tools are going to have that big red banner, or the landing page itself is going to look totally different and say that on the words. Here's where you put your open house, all right? Make those changes, whatever you want to change, click save at the bottom, and that will flow through the tools. But let's look at this active contingent landing page by going to the landing page column and clicking that. And this is, again, a landing page, but it looks different, and I think many of you are going to like it. It's got a big picture of the home in the background, right? And just like the other old school landing page, it's got one focus: get the lead, right? We don't need to read about every other thing that you want people to read about. Just get the lead. So this landing page is a great landing page to put on Facebook. Whether it's coming soon, just listed, open house, whatever, it's a different kind of message that you type in, but you take the URL from the landing page and you put it on Facebook. Now I want you to understand, I'm going to show you how to do it, but before we go do it, I want you to hear me real clearly. You want to run an ad on a landing page all the time. That's really what the strategy is about. Like 30 days a month for $3 a day. And you're going to see, and you don't have to run like a 30-day ad, right? But just do the math real quickly. We're talking about $90 to Facebook, okay? Run it on your business page, run it on your community page, not on your personal page. And don't run one long ad for 30 days. Run it for 3 days. Here's something just listed. Here's something open house. Here's something under contract. Again, for 3 days. Here's something that just sold. And I showed you what those ads look like. What that does on Facebook, if you're running that on the zip code, this is in Naples, so I would want tools like this to go to my Naples farm. Everybody in Naples, half the people in Naples are going to see that you got homes coming soon, open house, just sold, under contract, whatever, right? You get it? There is no way that people are going to get that kind of exposure to you in real estate anywhere else. Unless you're like hanging out downtown with a sandwich board, they're just not going to know that. But half these people in the country are on Facebook, so if you take this page and you go to Facebook, I'm going to copy it right now. Over half the people are going to see it. I have one more question. Once the user types in their contact info on this landing page, what info are they given? In this case, I'll show you what it is. I heard about dark posts from another agent. Do you know how to do those? No, I don't. I've never heard of those. Sorry, Jim. So what happens here is, I'm going to type in my name, right? And I'm going to say Vince at listingstoleads.com. And I'm just going to skip that phone number. Hopefully I can get through this. Get the information. So me as a consumer, I saw this on Facebook. I click, and what happens? I automatically get dropped on the single property website for this home. Okay? This is all about lead capture, right? For you. So you've already got the lead, but they actually might click a link here and get to your website. And just so you know, I got a lead. My smartphone's over here silently on the right, and I got a lead right here on my phone as a text, okay? I've also got a lead as an email. Um, okay, so dark post on Facebook is a targeted ad. Okay, well then I guess we're going to talk about that. So what I did before I filled it out is I copied the URL on the page, right? I copied the web address of this page, and now we're going to take it to Facebook. So here you got to watch, people, because this is how you run an ad. I want to point out, do not use this boost button. This is not what we're talking about. Up here in this blue navigation bar is a little triangle pointing downwards. Click it and click on Create Ads. Okay? And when you click on Create, this is where the most powerful part of Facebook for you is. And this is where your business is going to really be benefited by. So we've got a landing page. We want to send people to our website. Your website is actually not your real estate website. It's our landing page, okay? So we right click, we paste, and it says, okay, good. That's it. So we want to send people here, and you give it a second, and Facebook sort of does its thing here. And you just want to verify you're in the States and all this and that, your time zone. So how much do you want to spend? This is a listing landing page. It is not for property valuation, okay? And actually, I don't know, something happened here. Kind of jumped real quick. So let me go up. This is a listing landing page. It's not for, you know, it's not for everybody, but it's to reach out to the market and let them know you're a professional in real estate. So this home is for sale in Lafayette. So I'm going to type in this location, Lafayette. Okay. And when I hit Lafayette, it will say Lafayette, California. Yes. Now the default is Lafayette plus 25 miles. That's too far. Maybe 10 miles is out. 10 miles out is good because there are some towns, you know, where they might be interested in this home. They might be interested in talking to me as an agent, right? And that's great. Now, to buy a home in Lafayette, you're not getting in here for under 700. I don't think anybody that's 18 is going to have that kind of money. But I'll just put it to 24. You make a decision on what you got in your market, right? And ignore interest, ignore this stuff. But this is a listing landing page. So part of this is to get your brand out, okay? So change this to $3 or leave it as $5 and change this start and end date so that it's like 3 days. And don't forget, we want you to run an ad like this every day. So you run this ad for 3 days, 3 days later you come in and you put another ad for another home, and maybe that home is open house or maybe it's something else, right? So that it's telling the market in the zip code that you're targeting, in the town that you're targeting, like, yeah, this is what I'm doing, right? I'm a professional in this space. It gives you the chance to add more photos on Facebook so that they'll rotate them the next time I come in, right? Maybe they'll see a picture of the kitchen on the ad. This is what it looks like. Again, this says listings to leads here. This is going to be your community page or your business page, all right? And it's active contingent. Whatever you type here, right, it's going to show up right above the picture. So I'm going to say, you know, it's active contingent and sold at, let's just sold, you know, or selling at, let's just say 50K over asking, right? Because it just might be, you know, what's going to get somebody to click on that, right? And it's giving me an error over here, but whatever you type in here or whatever you type in up here, it's going to flow through these two areas. Now here, it's saying, I'm going to take this over. Mobile news feed, that works. This is a listing. Even if people are on their smartphone, you want them to see your name, right? And so definitely mobile is good, right? Right column, okay, you can leave it. I'm not crazy about the right column. I want it right in the center news feed. So that's kind of what you need to do. You place the order. It's going to run for 3 days. It's $3. You change the photo. That's it. Okay. Now I am going to get out of this, and that's how you run a listing landing page. And that's gonna, what that does is that gives broader exposure to your name in your market. When we go to the landing page tab up here, this is where we get to seller lead generation, listing lead generation. There are 5 different pages for this. What is your home worth? Growing family, property valuation 2, and property valuation plus. Property valuation plus has a built-in Zillow estimator right at the end. And you can use any of them. Some people like this one, some people don't. It's your choice. You can mix them up and test them and see what's working better. But let's just click on the C landing page for Lafayette. And for my page, you can actually put in a picture in the background. This is the Lafayette Reservoir. So everybody that lives over here, they walk their dogs and their kids around this little lake. And this is like a key part of Lafayette, right? So it makes it relevant when somebody in Facebook sees this, they know like, oh yeah, that's my area, right? I don't know, maybe that's a downtown, maybe that should be a park for you. Maybe it's a waterfront picture. But make that picture relevant to your neighborhood. Our default is a suburban neighborhood, and that works great for a lot of our clients. But if it doesn't, you can edit it, and you can edit it by clicking Edit Landing Page right here and uploading a picture. So we're going to walk through again. I'm going to copy this one, and I'm going to put this on Facebook. Okay? Same way. I'm going to click up here, and I am going to go create ads. And when I do that, let's give it a second. Couple of differences. And the main one, I think the 2 major differences are your radius, how far is your reach, and how much is your budget, your spend, okay? So let's just walk through it and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to paste in the link, and this time it's the seller lead generation property valuation one, right? And I'm just going to show you where you make what's different, and then kind of talk to you a little bit about when things don't work the way that you want to, because that's usually where, because how to do it, I've already showed you how to do it, but when it doesn't work right, that's when you start going, oh, I did what he said, and I'm watching the videos, and it's just not working. So this property valuation is in Lafayette, okay? That's what the page is for. And if I do 25 miles out of Lafayette, I'm now showing up in San Francisco and Pleasanton, and those places are very far away. Even if you're 5 miles away in Walnut Creek, a Lafayette page is not relevant. So what I just did is I clicked that arrow pointing down, and I said, to see this page, you've got to live in Lafayette. Okay, not 10 miles out, no, definitely not 50 miles out. And that's really what the key is, right? Facebook will tell you at the end of their story, at the end of the ad, like, here's how many thousands of people. And usually on any ad like this, a few thousand people see it. And that's great for you because they start to see your name over and over. Again, for somebody to sell a house, they probably don't own a house at 18 years old. So you might want to bracket up on the page. But the other big difference is don't run this at $5 a day, and here's why. This is Facebook advertising. It's also Facebook pay-per-click advertising, and you pay per click. There's a question, when will this recording be available? It will be on our Facebook page in probably a couple hours. So pay-per-click means if I run this for $5, Facebook is probably going to charge me, if you click around, I think in the advanced section you can tell, they're going to charge you something like 75 cents or 80 cents, 80 cents a click. So for 80 cents a click at $5, I'm really going to get like 6 people to click and land on my page. It doesn't mean they're all going to fill it out, but I've only got the chance for 6. So your spend on property valuation should be $20 a day. Don't run it more than 3 days. Start off doing it on the weekends. We hear that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday usually works a little bit better. Some of our clients get leads all week long, but we really want you to get some hits right off the bat. Add some more pictures. Facebook will tell you what picture got the most clicks, and you should learn from that. This is kind of a generic. Lafayette home values may have affected, recent home sales. So change that language. That's the first thing. If you run an ad and you feel like, And because Facebook will tell you, you got 5 clicks in 1 day or 2 days. That means that either your picture wasn't compelling or these words above and below your picture weren't compelling. There's, I know you guys know that the two top, emotions are fear and greed. You might want to, put something in there that gets people to click that. Okay. Unpublished. Okay, so here's that question on actual dark posts are called unpublished page post on Facebook. Slightly different. Okay, then I'm not really sure what dark posts are, and actually, I'm not too worried about it because these posts that I'm showing you are getting our clients hundreds of leads. If you follow our Facebook page, you're gonna see that it's just working like gangbusters. No dark posts, no nothing. It's exactly what I'm showing you is working for our clients. If you want a button down here, you can add a button, right? Sometimes, and it depends on when you run an ad, I've had clients come back and say, you know what, we didn't get the leads we wanted. And I'll tell them remove it from mobile and tighten that zip code down to just in the town, and they start getting leads within hours. I usually tell people to remove it from the right column, especially with property valuation. But when you remove mobile, on the weekends it might be relevant to leave it there because mobile is also iPads and tablets. And people are on those on the weekend, okay? Let's see here. We got a question. And I know we're hitting the hour mark, so if you got to jump, I understand. We'll put it up on Facebook. What is the difference between this ad and the previous one that makes this a pay-per-click? They are both pay-per-click. They are all pay-per-click. The other one is $3 to $5 because actually the other one, which is a listing, is showing the market the zip code in Facebook that you're a real estate professional. So that's why you're doing it for $3 a day. Because if they click or if they don't click, it doesn't matter. They're still getting the brand recognition, right? I don't know where you work, but if you're like our other clients that work with 30 other agents, with 20 other offices, how do you get above and in front of your target market against all those other agents? Facebook for $3 a day is going to get you in front of at least half of the market all the time. So that's why that's like $3. It's still pay-per-click. It's still going to be 80 cents. Now I want to I want you to hear this one because you can actually change that. And somebody called me and said, oh yeah, I changed it to 50 cents, right? Because they can. You can actually physically log in and do that. Don't do that. Because the other agents that are in your market, they didn't touch that. And you basically won't even show up because they'd rather take the 80 cents than the 50 cents. $1 per 1,000 impressions. Impressions are not clicks. Impressions are good to do if you want to do that, right? But our clients want to get leads. So you get leads and impressions when you go for pay-per-click. And at the end of the ad, they'll tell you 2,000 or 3,000 people saw this, right? And some of those people clicked it and you got some leads out of it. So we're talking about pay-per-click, not looking for impressions, okay? Impressions are great, but impressions are not leads. Okay, so home value question. Will the client only receive a Zillow estimate? Can I send them an estimate or set up a meeting to see their home? Well, actually, when they fill out the form, you get an email, they get an auto response from you, and certainly the next step is, hey, can we meet so we can get a more exact estimate, right? That's the whole thing about that. How do I set up a coming soon page if the listing is not in the MLS? You got to enter the listing in manually to do coming soon. Yeah, and then we talked about impressions, right? So are there any other questions? We've gone on a lot here, and I'm a few minutes over the time. I'm happy to stick around. I just don't, I want to make sure everybody gets what they need in the hour. While we're hanging out, please, if you got questions, put them in the chat panel. I'll show you the other landing pages. Growing family is a cool one for people who are, growing family. Because if your family is growing, you probably got to move. So maybe you're going to sell and maybe you're going to buy, things like that, right? So here's another landing page that can kind of reach out to the market. And one thing that I haven't stated, but it should be obvious, is that you cannot run the same ad over and over and over and over because people just get tired of that, right? they block it out. We see any ad, it starts to not reach us anymore. This is a property valuation too, totally different look on the landing page. There is no Zillow estimate. They get a thank you, you get a lead. Many of our clients come back and say, wow, we get better leads with this than all the other tools you have. So you got to test and see what works in your area. My MLS is part of List Hub, but my listings don't appear automatically. You probably need to have your office manager log in and turn Search All Properties powered by L2L network on. List Hub has over 60 channels. We're one of them. And if we're not checked as like a publisher, your listings don't flow to us. Let's see here. And then you can always call Yolanda. Can these landing pages be used in print or direct mail? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you might want to get a custom. So there's a long email here, or not long email, a long URL at the top. Usually, if our clients are going to do a print strategy, they're going to say, they're going to go, hey, LafayetteHomeValues.com. They'll buy that from GoDaddy and say, hey, forward that to this property, to this URL from listings to leads. And you put that in print, and you that's how you do it. The ROI in terms of time and dollars is so much higher on Facebook than anything print will ever do. So just, certainly that's how you do it in print, but the time and money, the return is like exponential on Facebook as compared to any print campaign. So, if there aren't any other questions, I'm going to wrap this up. I will point out though, there are tutorials here, and we're going to be redoing all our tutorials because we have just done a complete design overhaul on all the tools that touch our clients. And we're also kind of doing a little bit of user interface stuff. So these are going to get upgraded real quickly here. And so those will be changing. But also there's a page here that says contact support. This is the best way to get answers to your questions, because like 4 people are watching this all throughout the week, and we watch it over the weekend, and that's the fastest way to get stuff there. Okay, if you need answers, definitely choose this. I know that we kind of think like I can chat over here and that's better. It's better to get right here. Are there any other questions for you? Okay, well everybody, I appreciate you hanging out today. Don't forget, we have a direct class on Facebook tomorrow and Wednesday. So if you want to learn again how to do it on Facebook, that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Thanks a lot, everybody. I'll put this up on. I'll put this recording up on Facebook in just a couple hours. Have a great day and continue using the platform. It works as long as you're using it. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Oh wait, I see something here. Share, please send me your cheat sheet. Oh yeah, guys, I'm Vince at Listings to Leads. I can't get your email out of here. So send me an email to